activist has been sentenced to 4 years in jail for highly aggravated breach of peace this week. This afternoon, racial justice groups were outside of the Sumter courthouse protesting her sentencing. Brittany Martin was charged after comments she made during a protest back in 2020 following George Floyd's death. Martin's lawyer argued that the sentencing of the crime was too harsh and that the jury was confused when deciding Martin's guilt. She began today's statement by echoing the words Martin spoke that caused her to face charges.
Them vests ain't gonna protect you. I'm willing to die for the black. Are you willing to die for the blue? The jury said, no, Miss Martin did not cause a riot, but maybe she breached the peace. In part, the reason the jury believed that she breached the peace is because the judge refused to explain to them the difference between breach of the peace, which is a $500 fine and 30 days in jail maximum, or aggravated breach of the peace, which is judge's choice.
Now, protesters say Martin was within her First Amendment rights to make comments at the 2020 protest. However, the jury and law enforcement felt that Martin's comments fell into the category of threats.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Our name is Shell. Don't forget to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that share button. I got a story for you guys coming out of Sumter, South Carolina. It's about Brittany Martin of Sumter was convicted of breach of peace in high and aggravated manner, making what is normally a misdemeanor punishable by years in prison. It says that a pregnant Black activist serving 4 years in prison for her behavior at a racial justice protest will have her sentence reconsidered as she struggled to reach her due date behind bars, raising questions about free speech and equal justice. Brittany Martin, 34, was found guilty this spring of breaching the peace in a high and aggravated manner over comments she made to the police. Her lawyer had been pushing for a lesser sentence aimed at increasing concerns about her health and that of her baby due in November. Advocates with Black Voter Matters, never heard of Black Voter Matters, have been circulating a petition calling for her release. Civil rights attorney and former state lawmaker Brittany Sellers will tell the judge on September 12th that the punishment is unjust. She is in jail because she talked in America, said Sybil Dion Rosedale, her trial attorney. She's a dark-skinned Black woman who is unapologetically Black and radical. Martin moved with her 4 children to Sumter, South Carolina from Ohio in spring of 2020 and was ready to go and protest after the police killings of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd sparked a nationwide movement that year. Her sister said, but Martin also had someone else in mind. In 2016, Sumter police fatally shot her brother-in-law 19 times. 19, that's overkill. You would be angry. When officers said he fired a gun after a chase in a stolen car, when she took to the streets, she carried grief over her family past. More than that. In court, prosecutors presented a police body cam recording, including snippets of those demonstrations. Shared with the AP, they don't show her laying hands on any officers, Video from May 31st, 2020 shows Martin chanting, "No justice, no peace," in an officer's face. Police donned riot gear and discussed using tasers, tear gas before letting the crowd disperse. Martin used strong language days later. "Some of us gonna be hurting. Some of y'all gonna be hurting," Martin told officers. "We ready to die for this. We tired of it. You better be ready to die for blue. I'm ready to die for black." And that's fact. And that's fact. You know? I don't see what she said was wrong. And then what about free speech? She didn't threaten nobody. She didn't, harm nobody. So how in the world they gonna put her in jail for 4 years? If she was a crackerjack, it would be totally different. You know what I'm saying? Totally different. The jurors acquitted Martin of inciting the riot because she didn't, and reached no verdict on whether she threatened officers' lives. But they couldn't reach no verdict on that. Oh my God. Her legal team was elected when jurors found her guilty only of breaching peace, punishable by more than $500 fine and 30 days in jail. Investigator Tony Kennedy recalled. That's a shame. That lady should not be in jail. They trying to make an example. They trying to put that in your head. Yeah, we're gonna put y'all asses in prison, you Negroes. Y'all going to jail. Y'all can't get out there and say what y'all want to say. Y'all don't have right to free speech. That's what they just trying to make a little example out of her. That's what that is. State law defines breach of peace as any disturbers, dangerous and disorderly person, or people who utter menace or threatening speeches. But prosecutors present the charges as a high and aggravated crime, which carries up to 10 years imprisonment. Rosdale said Judge Kirk Griffin did not allow her to explain the differences and the possibility of a much stiffer penalty to the juror. Prosecutor did not respond to interviews requests. Sumter police said it would be inappropriate to comment, given the potential to additional action. Settle calls the sentences beyond the pale. The fact is, you have people to storm into the Capitol, who led to death of law enforcement, who tried to overturn the election and function of Democrats, and they getting 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. Seller said, and Brittany Martin get 4 years. Yes, that's very absurd. Like, why? It don't even make no kind of sense. No kind of sense at all. None. Of the roughly 850 people charged with the federal crime related to the January 6th incitement, more than 330 have pleaded guilty to receive lesser sentences. Most misdemeanors punishable by no more than a year. And that's crazy. That's because they was crackerjacks. In a court filing, Seller points to other convictions under the same charge who had their sentences reduced. A more high-profile case involving an intoxicated University of Alabama football fan who punched a University of South Carolina fan unconscious after the Gamecocks upset the Crimson Tide. The man was pronounced dead after the motorist unknowingly drove over his body. Wow. The fan got 3 years in prison, and the rest of his 10-year sentence suspended. He definitely was a crackerjack. Martin said her body can't get comfortable with the baby. And as of July, she lost 12 pounds while incarcerated, despite the pregnancy. She was taken twice by ambulance to the hospital that month, once after experiencing contraction and again after entering preterm labor after 25 weeks, according to her sister, Whitney Martin. Martin prison report shows she went to 8 outside medical appointments throughout July and August. Martin most recently got sent to solitary confinement for refusing to cut her dreads, a violation of policy Roselle calls racially biased, according to grooming policies, which seeks to promote safety. The prison allowed neatly braids, cornrows, rolled hair only when worn straight back, and individual braids, but not dreadlocks or twists. Martin says she's been verbally harassed by guards, injured by inmates, seeing scratches on Martin's face and body, and bloody right eye during a recent visit. Martin prison report shows she was sent to detention for 35 days on June 5th over threatening to inflict harm on an employee, and again for 22 days on July 28th for refusing or failing to obey orders. National Racial Justice Network President Dr. Candace Brewer wants to ensure Martin does not end up like Sandra Bland, referring to the Black Chicago woman who died in Texas jail after troops say she failed to signal a lane change. A lot changed during the 2 years since the protests. In 2020, Martin received 7 years probation for willfully intent to injure and leaving a crime scene in Ohio, where in August of 2019, her teenage son had accused her of purposely hitting him with her SUV and driving away. Iowa court document alleged that Martin told her son, who wounded up hospitalized for minor injuries, that she hoped he would die. So they probably threw that part against her too. But they said they did not mention Ohio Commission in his sentences decision. Right, I bet you he did. In 2021, Martin co-founded Mixed Sisters United, a local group that served meals for the homeless people. Organized voter registration drives and host June 19th celebration. This year, Martin's 18-year-old son was shot and killed in his car outside of Waterloo, Ohio. Iowa. Why I keep saying Ohio? Convenience store. A loss Martin and her family are still mourning. Martin's sister has been caring for her younger children who said they are missing their mother. The 5-year-old hasn't sounded like his happy self on the phone, Martin said. It been times in prison where I have started giving up for a second. Mentally and emotionally, Martin said. It seemed like the Holy Spirit just put a spoon in my mouth, like, come on, you got to eat. You got to get up. I had to think about my babies. I had to think about my love for them. which is why I'm even in the situation. Damn right. At the end of the day, you know, one thing about being a real true activist, you gotta face the fact that you will have to die. And a lot of our niggas, we scared we gonna die. You know, we scared to go to prison, and we scared we gonna die. You know, and once we get over the fear of that, they won't have so much power. And that's the truth. Because this lady got 4 years for just saying one statement to the police. She didn't threaten them, none of that. She just told them straight up facts, to be honest. And now she got to deal with 4 years. Some of us are going to be hurting. Some of y'all going to be hurting. We ready to die for this. We tired of it. You better be ready to die for blue. I'm ready to die for black. Facts. They signed a whole contract knowing that their life isn't going to be in danger going into law enforcement. It's almost like signing a death wish, you know? So why if y'all doing, if they doing dumb shit, you know, why not stand up for what you believe? She have a right to do that. She didn't hurt nobody. All they doing is trying to make her out an example. To show them nigglets in Sumter and who are all over the world, because this is on our local stations, that they not playing. They gonna lock our asses up. Just talking to the police when you have free speech. When these crackerjacks can run up there to the Capitol, people don't die there at the Capitol. They don't smear feces all over the Capitol. They don't threaten these officers. Don't took laptops and all. And these folks some of them ain't got no charges. Some of them still walking free to this day. And this lady get 4 years, all because it was a Black Lives protest. We got to pay attention. We got to get stronger. You know, I got to do my best to stand up for what I believe in and don't be afraid of doing it. That's why I made this video. You know, it's kind of getting me a little passionate. So I'm going to let it go. And my prayers for Brittany Martin and her family. I hope they release her as soon as possible before the baby born. We get it. We got it. That's what's up. We just got to come out a little bit stronger. They using whatever they got against us. If she had money, they wouldn't be doing all that. They wouldn't. And if her skin was pale white, they wouldn't be doing all that. No justice, no peace. Don't forget to hit the like button, that subscribe button, and that share button. Thanks.